Right, here we go again. Welcome back. After spending 2 years working on this blasted power drawbar, I need to make a couple of simple things. So I'm going to make something for my vice. So roll the titles. I'll see you on the other side, and I'll explain what I'm going to do. Here's my new vice, and it's tapped either side there and there with an M8 thread for a stop. So a stop is a simple project. Let's make one. There you go. I've even gone to the trouble of doing a drawing. No CAD, can't be bothered. It's a really simple project. So we've got a bar with an M8 cap head that screws into the end of the vice, obviously either side. Another rectangular bar with holes bored in it and an adjustable stop. So we only need 3 or 4 bits. There's the bar. There's that bit. There's that bit. Piece of cake. I've even got one of those. Yeah, we'll do this as a semi-auto machining process. I can't be bothered to do the CAD. It'll take longer than it will do to do it manually. Parallels, piece of bar, tiny little 1, 2, 3 block, and a machinist jack. That is 25.5 mil, so 1 inch plus a machining tolerance. So with that in mind, I'm going to put my holes along the centre line. Is it going to be exactly the centre line? Probably not. Does it need to be? Definitely not. There we go. If I select the right axis, that is. Oh, yeah, that is damn near close enough. Let's come up to the end. That'll do. So let's zero these out. Okay, 0, 0, 0, 0. Go to MDI. Right, G0 Y 12.25. There we go. Okay, so Y is now on the centre line, 0 that. Right, that's about all we need to do in terms of setting it up. I'm going to use these new split point drills I bought. There we go. They shouldn't wander. We'll see. Who cares? Doesn't matter. Right, that's in. Here's the thing. I don't need to use CNC to drill these holes. I'm just going to use the manual pendant, which means I need to take it out of CNC mode. On this mill, I think the real advantage with this mill is you can use it manually or CNC. So push of that button and we're now back to manual. And if I select the mode, you keep pressing mode and you get MPG. Once you get MPG, then controllers come down to the pulse generator here, and you can select the axis you want to move, times 1, times 10, and times 100. Don't use the times 100, you'll crash it. Ask me how I know. So basically, all I need to do is position the tool where it needs to be, which it is. I've moved over 12 millimeters. I'm going to have to move my machinist jack, otherwise I'll cut straight through the top of it. So it's just a case of manually drilling these holes. The only other thing we need to do on the CNC is to just surface all 4 edges and take the ends down. So piece of cake. I've moved my jack, so now we can start. You can turn the spindle on in manual mode by the green button here, and you'd set the speed by the spindle speed on this little knob. So there we go. We'll have that 2000 revs. That's good enough for me. I use a drop of tapping fluid so you can see, and I don't want to cover myself in grime. There we go. Oh, there we go. We're through. Job. Turn off the spindle. There we go. Yeah. You've got to love oil to do this as a hobby. Right, I think I'm going to move the jack to the end there to give it a bit more stability. Now all I need to do is move along and just punch through the other holes and then open them out, ready for reaming. So I'll do that off camera because you've seen me do one. Only got another 5 to do, 4 to do. I don't know. That's as far as I can go in the mill. So we'll come out of here and we'll take this to the drill press and just open these holes out and then ream them. I've decided to ream the hole. This one is M8, sorry, 8mm. This one is 8mm. I decided to ream the hole by hand. This one is 8mm, so here we go. The hole was previously opened out to 7.8, then I put a 7.9mm drill through. So this should only be taking off a tiny amount. There we go. This is the shaft we're going to be using. I think we'd buy that. Lovely. Good stuff. Right, having done that one, I'll open these out to reaming size, or close to, because I don't have the right size, and I'll come back here. Okay. Splodge and splodge. More splodge. Alright, let's see how we get on. That'll be it. There we go. Good enough. That's all gone well. Next up are to put the locking screws in. M4, which is a 3.3, so I'll take this out and mark it up and drill the holes. There we go. Now to work out roughly where I think the first one should be, and then it's just a case of measuring off the rest of them. That's as near as damn it. Close enough. Right, first one's 40. There we go. Back over at the mill, we'll put it back into CNC, and we will, because because it's been in manual back into CNC, the table's moved and it doesn't know that. So with this particular machine, it's best to reference it all home. Yeah. Get my trusty mirror out. Bugger it, that's close enough. Right, Z. Now, tool. I'll tell you what, we'll go with this one. How cool is that? Bloody fantastic. Sketchy, yes. Will it work? I think I'll stake my reputation on one or two outcomes. It either will or it won't. Yeah, that's looking all right. We're by that. Here are the parts. Off camera I've blackened the main bar. I think that looks really quite good. My blackening has improved. It's really about how clean you can get the part. On the end of here, I don't know if you'll see that very well, but as you saw, I pushed a ball bearing in and then just rounded it over slightly. And this end is square with a round over. So you've got a choice of ends. So the last thing to do is to just put this together and go and give it a go. See if it fits the mill. Of course it fits the mill. There you go, that goes in there. That goes through various holes. I'll put it on the tightest one for this demo. There we go, right, to the mill. Let's just thread this in the end here. Okay, let's just put it there. That's pretty sturdy. This is how it's used. It's just there to position your work. If this block is your work, you can see that that's a proper beefy stop. That's not moving at all. So if you have to repeat machine on the other side, so while it's like this, you can clearly machine on this surface, and then when you've finished on that and you need to turn it over, you can do that and accurately or repeatedly put the work back in exactly the same position. So it just constrains the work. The fixed jaw constrains it in this direction, and these adjustable stops constrain it in another direction. So you've in the X direction. So effectively you've constrained that work enough for you to machine both sides without losing any registration. Very simple, very clever. And I have to say that is pretty bloody beefy. I thought when I found the bits that it was going to be quite a beast, and yeah, seems so. I hope you've enjoyed watching me make this this stop. I have to say that it's turned out a lot beefier than I thought it was going to, and for an afternoon project, that's not too bad. I've filmed this, so it's taken about a day to shoot, but and it'll take probably a couple of hours to edit, but that's by the by. I do that for fun. If you were making one yourself, you don't need any plans, just make the bloody thing. And yeah, like I said, if I wasn't filming it, it would take me under half a day to make this, and make probably a better job than I have filming it. Anyway, thanks for watching. Do hit the bell and subscribe spanner, and we'll see you on the next one. Take care, look after yourselves. I'm stunned at how well that's gone. Really chuffed.